podcast, and I'm your host, Deja Nicole. So this is episode 5 of season 2. So we're like within 5 episodes with season 2 already, and I'm so amazed. I'm so proud of myself. Even just starting season 2 and continuing with season 2, it's just mind-opening that I chose this topic of healing girl era, but that's not the point. But before I get into today's episode, it is like 8:29 when I'm recording this. I have my glasses on, so if you're listening to this, I got my glasses on, and if you're watching this on YouTube, yeah, I got my glasses on. I rarely wear glasses while I'm doing content, just because of the glare of the ring light. But the ring light is not like facing me directly, it's facing the wall, but it's bright enough to the point it's still lighting the area. But yeah, but today is Monday, and I'm doing this the day before I need to post this episode. I have been on my to-do list. I am trying to be more productive, and I made myself a to-do list. I color coordinated the days, so I hope that helps. Plus I have a to-do list, that same to-do list on Notion, plus with some other things that couldn't fit on this like pad that I got from a thrift store. That's like where you can write your to-do list. But in today's episode, I'm going to talk about letting go, just with the past, letting go to your past, of your past, and why you should let go of your past. But before I get into today's episode, I just want to like ask y'all ladies a question, because I know most of my audience are women, so of all ages, mostly in their 20s, mostly early 20s and late teens. But when you're in your cycle, and this, like I said, this question is for my ladies. When you're in your cycle, do you have those days when you don't feel like doing anything at all, but then when you're like day 6 or day 7 on your cycle, you feel like, oh, I have all this energy to do everything that I thought I would do on day 1 to day 2 or even day 3, but have the energy to do it now. Like, I'm on my cycle, and the first 3 days I didn't feel like doing anything, but now I feel like doing a lot, and I'm going to get this to-do list done that I have for today. Like, I went to the gym, I did leg day and glute day. I do those together. I had a good leg and glute day today. It was really kicking me in the ass, but it was a good day. I did some cardio after. I did like a couple of minutes before, not before, but a couple of minutes on the treadmill, then a couple of minutes on the Stairmasters. I went to Walmart. Spend a lot, but I got me some groceries. I got me like these ginger shots that I'm going to try, but I'm not going to spend the amount they had at Walmart. I'm going to actually get me a juicer and make my own ginger shots, because I know ginger shots have a lot of health benefits, so I'm going to get those. I drink green tea like here and there, so I'm going to start drinking that more, and I do drink my greens. I need to get more soon, but I got like a lot of things. I was so mad that I could not find vanilla syrup for my coffee, because I'm almost like out of vanilla syrup and I could not find none, and I usually get the sugar-free vanilla syrup, so it like makes my coffee more healthier. Like, even at Starbucks, when I order like a cold brew, I always ask for sugar-free vanilla. I don't ask for like regular vanilla syrup. I just ask for sugar-free vanilla syrup. So it's like something I'm used to. I also got me like some energy drinks, some cranberry juice. Yes, and then I went to Publix a few days ago, and I got me some cotton candy grapes from Publix. If y'all don't know what they are, check if your local like grocery stores have them, because not all stores hold cotton candy grapes, but they're grapes that taste like cotton candy. And yes, it's still healthier. It's actually healthier than raisins. That's what I looked up. So, but if you want like a healthy snack but also have a sweet tooth, try cotton candy grapes. You will not be disappointed. Then I got me some dragon fruit. I like yellow dragon fruit better than red because it's sweeter. It got that natural sugar to it. And yeah, so that's how my week has been. I've been reading, I've been journaling. I'm trying to get a night routine and a morning routine, but that's, you know, still in the works. I did have one and then things happened. I really have not been myself lately, but I'm getting back on track on things to support that I'm being myself lately, like myself again. I'm stressed out about a lot of things, but with God's help, I know I won't be stressed out on those things anymore. I prayed, so yeah. Oh yeah, I did Bible studies today. So I'm just like telling y'all how like my day and my week and all that. And for the last couple of weeks, like I have to edit a vlog on my trip to Ohio. Yeah, I went to Ohio, and I came back last week. But yeah, I went to Ohio. I went to Great Wolf Lodge with my family. It was fun. So go check out that video when that comes out on Thursday on my main YouTube channel, Deja Nicole. If you're watching this, it would be in the description box down below. But if you listen to this, it would be in the show notes. Go add yourself to the group chat. I'm planning to promote that more. That would be in the show notes / description. And let's get on to this episode. Before that, go follow You Against You podcast by me on Instagram, which would be in the description box / show notes, and TikTok, because we have a TikTok where I just post little snippets of this, and soon I will post maybe some setups, how I set up my podcast, even though it looks easy, but you know, with this size of a room, with everything, you have to make some things work. So yeah, some behind the scene things I want to start recording, like things I do for posts, how to edit and all of that. I want to do a lot of behind the scenes stuff and post that on my Instagram, well, the podcast Instagram and the podcast TikTok. So go follow the socials. You can also follow my main TikTok and main Instagram, which would be in the show notes / description. So yeah, all of that jazz. There's really nothing new like going on, like that's like, you know, in my life besides me starting a business in a few months in September. Oh yeah, I'm going to the Dominican Republic next month. So that Tuesday will have an episode that where I'm out, but I would probably like record 2 episodes in 1 week. So I usually do that sometimes, but I know for that I need to record 2 to 3 episodes within that week, because when I come back I want to have an episode already recorded for that Tuesday, and then of course the week before I go, I will have the episode like already recorded and edit for that week. And in the week I'm in Dominican Republic, I want to have the episode already recorded and edit. So yeah, that is so fun. And when I go on that trip, y'all will see me post like a lot of TikToks, reels, pictures on my main Instagram. But let's just get on to today's episode. Like I said, it's episode number 5. I don't know how many episodes this season will have. It will probably have more than last season, which was like 30 episodes. I know episode 10 will be our first guest, so you don't want to miss that out. I am trying to get more guests in. It's just really hard to find people who can relate to your niche, and try to find guests, and then people's like, you know, have things that's going on, so they don't want to be guests and stuff, or they just like, I don't know. So like I do have a podcast swap coming up. I talked to someone. There's this like app / Instagram account called Morning Club. So I actually follow someone who did that, like who went to the Zoom meetings. I didn't go to the one today because I was tired, but I'm definitely going to the one tomorrow. But I met a lot of like ladies on there, and I'm in a group, and two of them, I think one or two of them have podcasts. So I DM one today. I was like, do you want to do a podcast swap? I'm actually going to DM or email the other one if they want to do a podcast swap too, because our niche, especially with season 2, is so similar to what their podcast is about. So like, I'm so happy. In networking, you can make a lot of friends around the world. So if you don't network, you should start now. And the app is called Morning Club. They have it on Apple and I think also Android. But yeah, so I would definitely go to that Zoom session tomorrow. I just didn't go today because I woke up kind of late and they started at 7 and 7 my time, and then I had to like babysit, so it's like, how can I concentrate and all that? But another thing is that the sweater that I'm wearing, if you're watching this on YouTube, is backwards, and the reason why it's backwards because I know it's backwards and I like it this way because the little like cross, but it's like you know how this like how like kind of like crisscross, it kind of looks like that. But yeah, so don't judge me, you know, I love fashion and I think this is cuter than it being on the back. It's just me. But let's just get on to today's episode. That was a lot of blabbering. Okay, so episode 5, it's all about letting things go from your past, right? So we are human beings. We like to hold grudges. We like to hold on to the past, and sometimes that can affect us. I know with me, I hold on to a lot of things in the past, and I don't like that sometimes because, one, if I'm trying to focus on something else, especially like my goals, it can distract me, and to the point that I don't feel like going after my goals no more. And I feel discouraged in a way because I'm thinking of something that happened in the past. And this can also affect you in so many ways if you are thinking of those things that happened to you in the past. No matter how bad it was, it can affect you in a lot of ways, to friendships, to relationships, to a lot of big opportunities that's coming into your life. Like, if you just keep your mind in the past, you're not going to keep going towards your future and also your present. So you don't want to do that because it can really hurt you inside, so internally and also externally, because you're not taking care of yourself, like your hygiene or how you look and stuff. So I'm going to talk about how you can let go of these things from your past. Now, if you know, I like to write down some things, type things on my phone. Plus, you can also go in the show notes and read them. And I also have an Instagram post coming up the day that this episode will be out. So tomorrow, with these same key points. So let's just get on to today's episode. So the first key point is you have to be gentle with yourself. Now, that can be like a lot of things, but us as human beings, we never thought that we should be gentle for ourselves or to ourselves. We just always think that we should be gentle to others because that's how we are raised. But you have to be gentle with you, and with this being a reason on why you should let go of your past, you should not let your past control you. You should not want to start blaming and keep blaming yourself for the things that happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, and so on. Because if you're going to blame yourself of the things that happened in the past, you're going to hurt yourself more than how much it did hurt you those days that happened, so those years ago. And you shouldn't want to do that. You don't want to put yourself in fault, even though someone else can put you in fault when you know it wasn't your fault. But you shouldn't. And I feel like a lot of people, we as human beings, like I said, we want to be gentle to people, and sometimes we also take the blame for a lot of people because they're a loved one and we care about them so much. But I feel like if we keep blaming ourselves for something that happened in the past, or someone reminds us that it happened, and they keep blaming us even though it happened a long time ago, we're going to ruin our mental health in a bad way. So you want to be gentle with yourself. Oh my gosh. So start doing that. Some things that you can be gentle with yourself is telling yourself positive affirmations. So what I do and what I like to do and what I have on my phone is, I'm so glad that so I listened to my friend, I would say, that I network with through the Morning Club app. She had a good podcast. I listened to the podcast, I screenshotted it, I shared it on my story, and she noticed that I had an affirmation on my like home screen. So there's this app called I Am. It's an affirmation app, and if you're like looking like on the phone, like not on the phone, but if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna show you what it looks like the label. So it's this affirmation app. I used to have the like premium plan, but now I have the free. But this is like, I don't know if y'all can see, like, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the affirmation app, like, right? So it has so many affirmations. When I journal, I get most of my affirmations from this app because I sometimes can't think of it. And in the 5-minute journal, it has like a daily affirmation. So the affirmation that pops up, or if I want to find another affirmation because I already read it like in my journal like a few months ago, I get that from there. And I like now that with the new update, like the recent update, I think like last year with the iPhones, or 2 years ago, you can have widgets, you can have little, like, you can now customize your lock screen and your home screen with widgets, and on your lock screen widgets as well with different apps. So with my lock screen, I have like a picture of me, then I have an affirmation. I'm about to soon change it to a collage, but I have an affirmation that says I'm a goal achiever, which I am. I know I'm going to achieve my goals. I also have a quote, a motivational quote that says it's going to be okay. And another affirmation is that I have on my phone is I am always at peace. So I just have those little affirmations on my phone to read or look through. Sometimes I go on Pinterest to find affirmations, and that you can actually start doing that if you want to start being gentle to yourself. Go find affirmations on Pinterest, on Google. Like I said, there's an affirmation app called I Am. There's also a motivation app that is by the same company as well, and you can get daily affirmations and read those, and daily motivation quotes and read those to yourself. And that's like a way of you being gentle to yourself. Another way that you can do and be gentle to yourself is go in the mirror, talk to yourself, tell yourself positive things, like you're having a conversation with someone that you want to be friends with but you never thought you can be friends with. You know, especially as an adult, it is hard to make friends because a lot of people are envy you or jealous of you. I'm happy I got one best friend, to be honest, but sometimes I do feel like I want more friends, and it can be lonely because I don't always talk to my best friend every single day because she has her things and I have mine. So talking to yourself in the mirror to lifting you up, to brighten up your day, can be a way of you being gentle to yourself. Another way that you can do, which has nothing has nothing to do with being like verbal to yourself, is buy yourself flowers. Doing a self-care day, which I'm going to talk about, but buy yourself flowers. I always buy myself roses. I have to get in some new ones soon because my roses are looking awfully sad. Like, they're still bright, it's just I don't know, I have to cut the stem shorter than how I usually do because they just like swooping. So, and I have to put more water, so I'm probably like cut the stem, put some more water, and see if it like they do that, because sometimes that can help. But buy yourself flower is a way of being gentle to yourself, and start doing that. Buy yourself chocolate, buy yourself a latte or some Starbucks, or have a cook yourself like a meal, or I don't know, go shopping. Shopping is therapy. Those are ways that you can be gentle with yourself. But if you want to let things go from the past, you need to be gentle with yourself and stop blaming yourself for something that happened in the past, and just enjoy life. Because when you're stuck in the past and you stuck on that one thing that happened in the past, you won't go forward with the present nor your future. The second key point, which is something that I'm still have to realize, is that accept that other people may not apologize. So remember when I talked about like how I'm someone who wants closure sometimes, but I know I won't get closure, and sometimes I have to also deal with that. And I also have to deal with that other people may not apologize, because they may not realize they hurt you, but they will most definitely realize that you hurt them. Now, I know this for a fact. Through life, this is life in general, you're going to have people in your life that are going to hurt you, and they're going to say things, and they will say like, I'm just playing and I don't mean it, but in fact they really do mean it. And it's going to really stick with you until you try to realize that it's not true, and when it's time to let it go. Something about me is that I used to love, I love being skinny, right? I love being naturally skinny, and that one was I love being naturally skinny, petite, small, all that, until I entered high school in my sophomore year of high school. And there was someone in my art class. I'm not going to say who this person was towards me, because I just feel like I don't want to give that person validation. But my sophomore year in high school, art class, because I had art class with this person, they would make fun of me for being naturally skinny. Like, they would grab, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see, but if you're hearing, I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. So I have my finger around my wrist, right? But their hands were bigger, so they would have their fingers, their pointer finger and their thumb touch each other, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, you're so skinny, you're like a stick, this and that. So, and I was very insecure in myself that I was skinny, and I hated that person, because that person made me hate how I view myself for a long time. And I felt like that person did owe me an apology. Actually, 2 people made fun of me being naturally skinny, so I cut one person off. I actually cut both of them off, but the other one people want me to bring back in my life, but I don't want to bring them back in my life. But I just feel like sometimes you want an apology, those 2 words, I'm sorry, from someone, but you can't get those because they don't feel like they have to apologize for you, even though they say, well, I forgot about it. Why are you still thinking about it? People are different. How people's minds are wired is different. Some people will remember the things that you said, that you did, until you apologize, and then soon they will forget about that. But there are people, even though that you will apologize, they will still remember that and use that for their advantage to get to your head. So just know you don't have to get an apologize from someone, and yes, it can be hard to forget because you're not getting that I'm sorry for, or I'm sorry because, from someone. And all you have to do is just write how you feel and write a apology letter to yourself. So write an apology letter to yourself on why, 1, you thought this person should have been in your life, 2, why do you think they should apologize, And 3, apologize to yourself on why you let this person get into your head and let them control you, even though you never thought they could control you, but they did control you. So yeah, and I kind of like did a little tongue twister here and there, but yeah. So the next key point, I got like 5 key points, but the next key point is engage in self-care. So like I said, I was starting to talk about this in the first key point, but we're going to get more in depth into this. Engage in self-care. Now, this is not all about having a spa day, getting your nose done, your toes done, so manicure and pedicure, or face mask. This could also be going to the gym. Going to the gym, moving your body is a way and a form of self-care. Binge watching your favorite TV shows or movie series, or just movies in general, is a form of self-care. So when you're hurting and you still have that one thing that you're remembering and that you want to forget from the past, have a self-care day. Let go of the past by having a self-care day. When you are enjoying yourself and making yourself happy by distracting yourself, because when you're having a self-care day, you are distracting yourself, you're going to forget why you even held on to that one thing for so many years in the past. This can also be listening to your favorite music, dancing in your room, singing out loud. I do that. I put on my headphones, sing out loud, have a dance off. Like when I was like on my trip to Ohio and I was at Great Wolf Lodge, and if you subscribe to my main YouTube channel you will see this, but before a fire drill happened, because some kid pulled the fire alarm at the lodge, I was in the room by myself. My family, my mom and my brothers were at the water park. I didn't feel like going, so I was like, let me do some home workouts here in this corner. So I just did some leg workouts with no equipment, and then after that I ate, and after that I put on my AirPods and I put on some music and I just danced. I literally danced and sang. I did not care. I was singing out loud. I didn't sing like that loud, but it was me distracting myself. And sometimes you just have to do that. So put on your AirPods or your headphones and put on some music, dance, and sing out loud. That is a form of self-care. Plus, you're gonna have all these happy hormones just filling you up to the point that you're going to forget why you held on to something in the past, and you will actually soon will forget, because music can help you forget about a lot of things because of the beat and also the tempo and the lyrics. So yes, and also a way to engage in your self-care can also be setting boundaries for yourself. A lot of people don't think that, and something I'm still working on is setting boundaries for myself, but it is hard because, well, it's something I really never really had. Like, I had a problem with ever since I was younger, and even as an early adult, in my early adulthood, it's something I still like have a problem with. But it's something that I do want to do, is setting boundaries with anything. So anything that I don't feel like it makes me comfortable, or if I know that my body is tired and I don't feel like doing something, but one day I will. But setting boundaries for yourself is a form of self-care. You are telling that person, no, you don't feel like doing this, and you're putting yourself first. There's a lot of people, like I said, there's something that I'm working on, who don't really put themselves first, and they're afraid to say the word no because of the people who are around them. They are scared, and they don't know how people will react when they say no. No, 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 no. So, yeah. Okay, hold up. Okay, so my camera stopped because the limit is 30 minutes on the dot. So we're on key point number 4. So I talked about, the last key point I talked about is engage in self-care, which was key point number 3. The 4th key point is surround yourself with people who fill you up. So who makes you happy, and always put a smile on your face when you are around them, or when you're thinking about them, or someone mentioned their name around you. Now, when we are healing and we're trying to forget things in the past, we want to be by ourselves. We want to be in a closed, like behind closed doors, in a closed closet, you know. We want to be isolated. But we can't always heal on our own. We have to have people around us. We have to have people who care about us around us. So when you're surrounding yourself around people who care about you and who can always make you happy no matter what the situation is, even when you're sad, it helps you forget your past. It helps you forget those troubled times that you had in your past, those negative things that you had in your past. It helps you also starting to love yourself, because maybe someone in your past said you would never love yourself, or that you're this or that, so you start to disgrade yourself and see yourself as disgusting, when in fact it's not. So when you're surrounding yourself with people who speak highly about you, who makes you happy no matter what the situation is, you will soon forget those things in the past. And sometimes it is hard to forget things in your past, because someone can mention that person around you, and then boom, everything that you thought you forgot can come back all over it again. And that is okay. We're humans, we're not perfect. That's how we are. We have emotions, and some people know how to control their emotions better than others. So you just have to learn how to balance that out, and to always think positive, because when you have a positive mindset, you have a positive outlook on the world, on everything. So surround yourself with people will help you. Surrounding yourself with people who fill you up, who make you happy, will boost your dopamines, will help you forget and let go of your past. Now, the last key point, which is actually 2 key points into 1 key point, is give yourself to forgive and talk about it. Now, this goes back when I said sometimes you have to go in the mirror and talk to yourself, and that is so true. But a lot of people don't like doing therapy, and that's why I recommend some people to go in the mirror and talk to themselves. A lot of people don't like talking to people at all. Some people do therapy because they can't talk to their friends or a loved one to talk about how they feel. And some people can't even talk to strangers, so that's why they don't do therapy. You can write it out, but sometimes some people feel like they have to be verbally about how they feel. So you have to forgive yourself for one. Oh my gosh. So forgive yourself for one on why you did not forget those things, and why you held on to the past, and why not forgetting the past, and why you held on. So after you let go of the past, forgive yourself and be like, I'm sorry, I held on to you so much, but it's time to let you go. I'm not hurting myself no more. I am going to make myself happy. And then sad. I'm not letting you as my past control me anymore. Be gone. So like, that is a way of apologizing to yourself on letting go of the past. Now, like I said, talking about it can be to a loved one, that can be to a stranger, so like a therapist, or that can be to yourself on a piece of paper, or just going to a mirror and talking to yourself. And remember, I don't know which episode I talked about, but I know it was this season. I talked about how you can also record yourself your conversations on your phone or your computer or just any type of device, no matter if it's through video or just voice memos. Sometimes you can do that as well, and to talk about it and why you actually now decide to let go in the past, and you could have done it years ago, and what was that past that you couldn't let go and why you let that control you. So you can like do a voice memo or a video and record that and keep it like in a file, or doing a voice memo, email it to yourself. So voice memo, email it to yourself, because I don't know what you said. Like I said voice memo, but I said it with an accent. But do a voice memo, email it to yourself. So like if you have a computer and you did it on a phone, email it to yourself so you can get it on your computer, and then put that file on like a hard drive and do that, or a flash drive and do that. So, and you can always like label the hard drive, okay, me talking to myself, apology, this and that. You can just name it. But doing that is a way of talking it out. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that you are your own best friend. You are your own therapist. Even though you're going through the problems day to day, you're your own therapist, because you know how you're feeling and you actually do know how you can fix that. But you are in a state of mind at the moment to the point that you don't want to fix it at all. So yeah, so remember that you're your own therapist. Because that, you know, I'm gonna actually do that episode, like an episode on you're your own therapist, and why I say you're your own therapist for this episode, because I feel like, or for this season, I just feel like that's a good episode to talk about. But yeah, you're your own therapist. But before I close down, remember these 5 key points of letting things go from your past is: 1, because you want to be gentle with yourself, so start being gentle with yourself. 2 is accepting that other people may not apologize. 3 is engage in self-care. 4 is surround yourself with people who fill you up. And 5 is giving yourself to forgive and talk about it. So yeah, but I am finished with this episode. Yeah. So I really do hope that you like this episode. If you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and a review. I love reading the reviews. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a review. You can not review, but leave a rating. You can leave a rating. And if you're watching this and listening to this on YouTube, leave a comment and a like, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. So yeah. So I really do hope that you like this episode. Follow You Against You podcast on Instagram, which is You Against You pod.bydeja, and also that's the same username on TikTok, which is also again You Against You pod.bydeja. And also go follow my personal Instagram, which is Deja. I was going to spell it and then I said it was like start spell, but my personal Instagram is Deja, DAJAH _ Nicole, NICOLE _ and follow my personal TikToks, because I want to post more TikToks and reels. So my personal TikTok is like, I'm about to like really do a lot of content, even though sometimes I don't feel like doing it, but I'm about to do a lot of content. So my personal TikTok is Princess, PRINCESSSS, so 3 S's, and then Deja, DAJAH. All of those social media links will be in the show notes / description box. So yeah, and my personal YouTube channel will also be in the show notes / description box. So go check out my YouTube channel, help me get to 1,000 subscribers. And if you're listening to this episode, just take a screenshot, whatever platform that you're watching this, take a screenshot, share it to your story or your story, and tag the podcast and my personal Instagram, or either or. You don't have to do both, but I like to see support. Even though I'm like still new to podcasting, I still like to see support. And if you are a content creator, because I'm going to put this out here now, like I said, I would love to have more guests. If you're a content creator who like to talk about healing girl era, or you're entering your healing girl era and you want to be a co-host for a day, a guest on You Against You podcast. The guest form will be in the show notes as well. Also, go add yourself to the Geneva group chat. I have like 4 members, so I want to keep growing at least to 10 members to start chatting, but go add yourself to the Geneva group chat. But I love you guys, and remember, it's you against you, not you against the world. That's why I named this podcast You Against You podcast, because it's always you against you. You are your biggest competition. You have to be the better you from yesterday. So remember it's you against you. Remember to also to go after your goals no matter what, and don't give up. But I love you guys, and I'll see y'all in episode 6. But bye.